Boom. And just like that, he was live. Or at least I think I'm live anyway. So fingers crossed, I'll still be alive by the end of the show. And I've got the notification from the YouTubes to tell me that apparently I am live there. So hello to all my friends over there. And I should be live on the Gettr in the Getterverse as well. So hello to friends there. We're also streaming to Twitter. We are streaming to Rumble. We're streaming everywhere. Facebook. Hello, Mark Zuckerberg. Isn't it time that Elon Musk bought you? We're streaming everywhere. So anyway, wherever you are, that's good to see you. And hope you survive the next hour as we rock and roll our way through some of the big issues du jour, the issues of the day. Now, to keep me going for the next 60 minutes, I've got this dinosaur juice. Dinosaur juice, you say, David? Yeah. What is dinosaur juice? Dinosaur juice. This is minerals from I think it's from the Arizona desert, somewhere like that, and it's minerals that basically come from the time of the dinosaurs. So if you wonder what this old dinosaur drinks, he drinks dinosaur juice. He also consumes nothing but .co.uk, natural foods that help your immune system. Well worth a visit. Do make sure you follow them. Make sure also, I missed the usual thing, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. If you want to support the platform, buy me a coffee. Buy me coffee, daily podcasts, link below as well. And to support the channel. Now then, I see a lot of people. Hi there, Leslina. Good to see you, Leslina. To my good friend Chris Davies as well over on the YouTubes. And then, of course, I can see Stevie, Stu, Baz, Danny, CCZ, all you guys over on the Getterverse as well. Thanks for being here. And I'm a little bit more organized than normal tonight, actually. So I get to see everything and I get to see everyone. So as I say, so hope you old Baz says, good. Be careful, David. You'll be shouting yabba yabba doo before you know it. Yeah, but the Flintstones, so racist, weren't they, the Flintstones? There was such a lack of diversity in the Flintstones. I deeply regret that. Hi, Melissa, as well. Good to see you, Republican rocker, my friend. And as I said, because we're on the anti-free speech platforms, oh, don't forget, visit, here's one to bookmark, a Tangled Web. Make sure you visit Tangled Web. That's kind of, people say, where is all your stuff kind of centrally collated? Well, the answer is it's down below on this stream. It's on a Tangled Web, a site which my good friend, the City Troll, and our producer Jed help basically run. And I set that up about the time of the dinosaurs, or certainly the time of the millennium. So yeah, so that's where you get all the stuff. All right. And as I say, yes, I see several people saying, arrest Matt Hancock now. Oh, yes, Metazolam Matt. Oh, yeah, we know about that. Yeah, plenty to talk about that. I understand your fury about that there. That's when all our elderly were booted out of the hospitals, into the care homes, and where they met their deaths, which was ever so. Oh yes, just a quick message: if we get cut off from YouTube or Facebook, you'll still get us in Gettr. You'll get us in BrandNewTube and Rumble and Odyssey, on all of these other platforms. So don't worry, you cannot lose us, because you see, free speech is spreading, friends. Free speech is spreading, which I guess brings us to the first topic that we need to talk about. And Clutchshot, does free speech exist? Not sure. Debatable. Hi, Iber, my friend. Good to see you. Hi from Florida as well. Floridians on the stream, which is good. Thank you very much for joining. And thank you, Gettr, by the way, for pushing this out on your Gettr Live daily update. And we even got the time precisely right tonight. At the third stroke, it's just gone past 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have no idea what time it is over on the West Coast. I'm sure if you're watching that from there, you'll be able to let me know. So Shall we get going? And let's talk about as always, the comments are great. The comments are great. The first thing I wanted, and hello, by the way, to Peter Stewart, Darren, again, more friends joining over from the Facebooks. Yes, if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure that you share it and get as many Facebook friends coming here as well. And if you're watching it from, well, wherever you're watching, you're watching from the Twitters, wherever, that's fine. Not my Twitter, because I'm still banned, cruelly banned from Twitter. We're going to talk about Twitter now, right? So as you've seen, the big news, we talked about this the other day, about the leftist meltdown on when it was announced that, yes, Elon Musk had successfully, his bid had been accepted by the Twitter board. That happened on Monday, which confounded a lot of people. They didn't think it could happen. It happened. Now, there's a bit of process to go before he completely, fully owns, Twitter. There's a 6-month transition, basically, towards that. So people maybe need to think a little bit before they say, he's had 24 hours. Why am I not allowed back? You've got to give the guy a bit of a break, and so I'm prepared to do that. I'm prepared to give him 48 hours. And then, by the way, everyone who knows the reason why I was banned from Twitter is because I put a tweet out concerning Marcus Rashford, which was perfectly reasonable, perfectly balanced. The lefty mob jumped on me, and because I'd criticized Saint Marcus Rashford, football player who's not very good at taking penalties in the UK, I was permanently banned from that. If I return to Twitter, my first tweet will be about Marcus Rashford. So hold me, or it might be my second one, because we'll have to see. But I'm not sure if they'll bring me back, and I'm not sure if I want to go back, to be honest. But what I do know is, and this is the first thing I want to play you, the people in Twitter headquarters, they're not happy bunnies, right? Now, actually, there's no people in Twitter headquarters, because as far as hello, John Gleason, my good friend as well. Good to see you. The people in Twitter headquarters aren't there because, as you know, nobody goes there. They're all working from home because COVID, the Rona, can't possibly go to work. No, I have to work at home, you see, even though there's no reason why you shouldn't be in the office. However, the guys over at Project Veritas, they got this really fantastic clip of the special meeting they had on Monday afternoon. And this was basically the Twitter management, Twitter elite, having a collective cry amongst each other. So I'm going to play it for you. It only lasts 2 minutes, I think. It's a very short clip. And then we're going to have a bit of a laugh at them. And we're going to talk a little bit more about social media at this point in time with Elon Musk now moving into the space. So if we can play the video, I'll sit back and relax.
How does the board and Mr. Musk plan on dealing with a mass exodus, considering the acquisition is by a person with questionable ethics?
The question of attrition, as Parag stated, one of the themes of today is continuity and ensuring that Parag and this leadership team continues to operate the business successfully on behalf of our users, on behalf of our customers. And that has obviously been a big topic of discussion at the board. And as I mentioned, an area that is important to Elon Musk as well, because of the importance of Twitter as a service.
With no board in place, who will keep Elon accountable and how? Elon made it clear in public that a large part of the reason he bought the platform was because of our moderation policies and disagreements in how we deal with health. This puts Twitter service and trust and safety, as well as anybody who cares about health on the platform, in a very difficult position.
Twitter service, the role of our policies, and the capabilities we've built around content moderation are fundamental to keeping Twitter safe and growing. I believe that there is a lot of work we have to do to continue making that better. Sometimes that means more thoughtful moderation. Sometimes that means making things simpler. Sometimes that means changing product incentives to be able to solve problems through products sometimes instead of policies.
During the last all hands, you said that you trust Elon Musk. The correct quote was, "We trust him." So who is we? And talking to Elon, what made you trust him?
And based on the conversation I had with him when we were excited to have him join our board, that was because as a major shareholder and an opinionated user, we wanted that voice in our boardroom so that we could learn.
Is there an updated understanding on what free speech means?
The question behind the question here, which is where might Twitter's product go as a private company in the future once this deal closes? To best gain perspective on this, as I said earlier, we'll find ways to bring Elon for a Q&A with all of you to understand better what his vision for the future of Twitter might look like.
So there you have it, friends. There you have it. A snap inside, a snap in the into the I would say the inner sanctum of Twitter, and you can see the massive problems there. These people at Twitter are the fundamental problem. I was having an exchange on the Gettrs earlier this evening, UK time. And I did say that for me, here's the fundamental with Twitter, problem with Twitter. The people who work for Twitter, they're the major problem. Sack them all. Sack all the planners, sack all the algorithm setters, sack all the moderators, sack the lot of them. You cannot have a free speech platform with a company stacked full of draconian, censorious, biased leftists. And that's what Twitter is. So till everyone's sort of saying, oh, reinstate me. I don't want to be reinstated in a platform that hasn't fundamentally removed the biggest problem it has, its own people. Now, hi, Blitzer, by the way, good to see you in the stream, and Real Surreal as well. So, I thought that was just really interesting. You can see the massive problem that Elon Musk has. These people from Parag, who seem to be doing, I thought, listening to Parag Agrawal, the current chief executive of whatever, of Twitter, I thought it was a job application he was doing. He's going to set up a Q&A with Elon. That won't last long. I would think Old Baz is a top suggestion. Musk needs a special rocket to send these people into space. Well, actually, I think Old Baz, they are already in space. Hello to my friend Scott. Good to see you on the stream as well. And Trumpiest Girl, nice to see you here with us as also. So he's got a fundamental huge problem with the fact that the entire Twitter team are stacked against people like you and me. And I see there seems to be some kind of changes going on at the moment. And Trumpiest Girl makes another good suggestion. Get them to quit and move Twitter to Texas. I think that's actually a really good idea. Moving it out of California would be an excellent notion. And my friend Iberstellar is now over on the Gettrs as well, and City Trolls over on the YouTubes. So I'm getting blasted from different sides here from you rascals on different platforms. So there we have it. The position is now. I think we have. Let me just need to check. Dude, there was a couple of. Was there a tweet? There was a couple of tweets maybe that I put up about Elon Musk. Did I put up have we a post that I put up about Elon? I'm not 100% sure. But there's something. Stick it up till we see what it says anyway. Here we go. So, oh yeah. This is a cracker. Oh, heck. If you think Elon Musk's troubles are all in Silicon Valley, no. The European Union has issued a warning to the new Twitter owner. They've told him, they've told me the European Union is fundamentally opposed to free speech, right? That's what you need to that's all you need to understand about the European Union. So they've basically told him that he needs to buckle up his ideas. If he thinks that the Twitters is going to be able to work in the European Union, then forget all about free speech. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? How will that one work out then? Scott Peacock, top idea. Metaphorically speaking, Twitter needs to be reduced. The current Twitter model needs to be reduced to ashes. I know a lot of you guys have got concerns about Elon Musk. I see you. I see what you're saying. My view is at this point in time, he's really annoying all the right people. You know, from Biden through Jen Psaki, through the legacy media. I mean, they've had a collective, and then of course all the celebs are getting. Dragon Eye says half a dozen of the nastiest leftists they said they would leave Twitter for Gettr. Oh, please do. Please join us lefties, high-profile lefties. Join us on the Gettrs and see what happens, because you won't be given protection here. You'll not be treated any worse or any better than me or all of you folks watching it. You don't get your Twitter protection on this platform. Or you probably get it, mind you, on you would get it on the Facebooks and whatnot. But as Iber says, oh, the EU, the scare. John Gleason says the scary EU. Yeah, John, we don't take the EU seriously. But that's some of the problems. Like, that is part of the problems that Elon Musk faces. And actually, we had Boris Johnson's press secretary the other day saying that Elon Musk needs to watch out. He needs to show respect to the UK's legislations as well on free speech, because free speech lies at the heart of this. And I do want to say this, and this is why I have so much respect for Jason Miller and Ebony Bowden and all the folks on the Gettrs. Gettr is about pretty much free speech. If you want to know what Twitter should look like, it should look like Gettr. That's what it should look like, where people have different opinions. I know Gettr's a conservative platform. I understand that, but that's because the lefties are scared to come here. I agree with Simon Knight, by the way. Simon's saying Rumble, Gettr, Telegram is the place to go, and Truth Social when it comes properly online. Yeah. Did you see Elon Musk was tweeting out about Truth Social earlier today, by the way? Put a tweet up showing that Donald Trump's Truth Social is the #1 download on the App Store at the moment. Yes, real surreal, the Azov-loving EU. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. We won't talk about that. Although, mind you, that might upset the gatekeepers over on Facebook and the YouTubes if we say hurty things about Mr. Zelensky and his wonderful regime. But we're not talking about that tonight, actually. So he gets Republican Rocker says, I'll tune the lefties up here. But you see, here's the thing. We survive by the strength or otherwise of our argument. I'm very confident in our arguments. So therefore, I'm not bothered about lefties coming here. I don't mind that. What I do mind is the cesspit that Twitter has become. Now, it's interesting because, the CCP loving EU. They love the Chinese Communist Party. Oh, they do. Maybe that's because they're owned by the Chinese Communist Party. Just putting that out there. Someone maybe on Facebook can fact check that. But, the issues for Elon Musk are many. And as I say, I think he'd have to sack all the staff on Twitter. Now, I think I'm right in saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the feistiest of the GOP people in Congress, I think she got her Twitter account back yesterday. If anyone is aware of that, you can tell me. So it looks like there are some changes over there. Hello, we the people. Good to see you as well. He said, we the people says a lot of lefties threatening to move to Canada. Life just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, I'm leaving Twitter if Elon Musk buys it, as somebody has famously said, is the new version of I'm leaving America if Donald Trump becomes president. They didn't leave America when Donald Trump became president. They should have. And they won't leave Twitter just because of Elon Musk. Ibersteller says the Ukraine is going to bankrupt Europe. Yep, absolutely right. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that. Actually, we're going to move on to that very shortly. So this is the situation we have anyway. Social media is getting certainly a challenging time now with Elon Musk's acquisition. I see, by the way, did you see the financial deal that's been done? And that is that if Elon Musk steps away from the deal after certain technical things have happened, it would cost him $1 billion. And if Twitter backs out of the deal, it's going to cost them $1 billion. So I think the chances are that the deal will go through. I know it has to go to shareholders. I get all that. I understand the financial wherewithals. But Dragon Eye says, yep, the only people you need to keep are needed to keep the platform functioning. Everyone else fire them. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Sack them all. Sack the Twitter staff. They're the problem. I'm sure the technology Twitter deploys is okay, but the way they moderate against people like me and people like you is disgraceful, and the fact that leftists have found that Twitter's been a safe space for them. Don't forget our shop, by the way, our online shop. It's just over here. Right, there you go. It's under my hand. It's been a safe space for the lefties. Oh, they love it. Oh, because they can say what they want, and their comments will be artificially boosted by the bot farms. And people like us, we will be, well, if we're allowed to be on it at all, we'll be relegated into zero responses and whatnot. But I do see, is it James Wood? James Wood's back on it. Marjorie Taylor Greene's back on it. There's a lot of fake people selling up on it as if they are the original person, and we shall have to see. But I'm not in any. Yeah, I seen that Trumpiest girl, Steve Bannon, on the War Room this morning said that Elon should walk away, let the stock drop $20, and then buy it cheap. Yeah, good financial advice by Steve Bannon, actually, to be fair. And then Andy Bells makes a really good point. He thinks that the likes of Apple, who will pull the plug, because, of course, Twitter is not hosted on its own server. Twitter is hosted on the Amazon servers. And I think Amazon and Google will treat Elon Musk's Twitter more harshly than they did the steaming pile of crap, which was the outgoing form of Twitter. Blitzer says the left on Gettr will be like drug addicts and heroin. They know it will do them no good, but they can't get enough of the stuff. Oh no, but this is the point. The thing about the left is they love us. They love to hate us, to be precise, but they love us. I mean, when I was on Twitter, and the comment streams were besieged with lefties accusing me of being, a Nazi, an Islamophobe, a homophobe, a xenophobe, a phobophobe, everything you can think of. But they had to come to tell me that because they can't resist us, folks, So maybe they'll come together. I know Gettr will welcome them. I have no concerns with them whatsoever. I think the other thing that some people are saying is one of the things that Elon needs to do is Twitter is understand exactly what were they doing, boosting some voices and de-boosting other voices. What did they do around the 2020 US presidential elections? Oh yeah, let's get the receipts on that, shall we? Because I'd like to see those receipts. Do we see exactly what indeed, as Danny says here, what kind of business did they get up to during the most legitimate election there's ever been? Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Oh, yeah. 2020 election. Oh, it's Joe Biden. Massively popular guy. Massively. Much loved Joe Biden. But Blitzer says, would it be so bad if Amazon pulled the plug on Twitter? Yeah, I don't know. It might. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Gab has probably got the best idea. Andrew Torber and the guys over in Gab, who I've got huge respect to. And if you follow me in Gab, you get regular content from me every day, just like you get it on Gettr. I mean, he's built his own infrastructure because Gab is really pro free speech. And it's a great platform. There's lots of good engagement over there. Trumpiest girl says, Josh Hawley sent a letter this morning to Twitter to save all documents relating to boosting and deplatforming. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Which Republican politicians have been deboosted and deplatformed? Can we get the receipts in that? And then when we've got the receipts in that, can we arrest those people on Twitter that did that? Can we do that? That'd be quite nice. Yes, City Troll, the algorithms must be made public. As the song goes, algorithm is going to get you. No, maybe it was rhythm is going to get you, but you know what I'm saying. And then, of course, the final thing is that we have to see how it all works out with Donald Trump and Truth Social. Now, how do you introduce one? Twitter and Truth Social become one. Yeah, see, look, I don't know what's going to happen with Truth Social. It's doing really well. Donald Trump said he's going to be posting on it soon, so that's really good. Hopefully, it'll open up to people like us, all of the Trump fans here in the UK. We want to be able to join our friends in the States, and I know not everyone in the States can be on it as well. So I know Truth Social is the #1 target for all the haters out there, and they want to destroy that platform. So Trump and his team are being sensible, they're being reserved, because they want to bring it down. They want to make it fail. I did laugh at Elon Musk's suggestion a couple of hours ago that he thinks it's a rubbish name, Truth Social, and that it should have been called Trumpet. Did you see that? I laughed at that. Real Surreal says I had 126,000 followers before I was banned off Twitter for spreading misinformation about a certain laptop. I miss all the death threats and hate speech. Well, yeah, absolutely, Real Surreal. Join the club. I really miss those death threats. I miss the daily hate. Oh, I mean, I'm so nostalgic for it. Does Trump even know that Angela Rayner even exists? More importantly, Angela Rayner's legs, and we have to get to that. We have to get that, which means I need to move on from social media now. We've done social media, right? We're going to move on to I want to move on to gas. Actually, we can talk about the lights are going out across Europe. Well, if not the lights, well, the fires. The things that run industry, the machinery, the heavy machinery, all of that. And why, you may say, why are the lights going out across Europe? Cue the headline. Here we go. Oh, look, European gas prices soar by 26% after Gazprom halts supplies to Poland and Bulgaria. So the Russian energy giant says it hasn't received a payment in rubles as it asked for. It requested these. It told them last month in March, if you want continuity of gas, you got to pay us in rubles. Right, you got to do that. And they didn't do it. So this is what happens. And I think there's another thing I think we have it on the same topic. Yeah. And then along comes this clown, Ursula von der Leyen, great name, Ursula von der Leyen. She denounces Russian gas. This is blackmail for stopping deliveries to Poland and Bulgaria. Hang on a second, Ursula. I've got Angela in my mind. Ursula von der Leyen. Hang on a second. Hang on. It's not blackmail. They told these countries last month that if you want your gas, pay us in Russian ruble. And they didn't. So how's that blackmail? How is that blackmail? Hello, Alexander Cameron, by the way. Nice to see you on the stream as well. Good to see all you folks. It's not blackmail. There's a name for this. It's called business. It's called economics. And it's that simple. It's that simple. The person, actually, as Danny says, the person responsible for these problems is Ursula von der Leyen, the European Union. The European Union was so quick to support Joseph Biden's let's have sanctions on Russia. Boom, energy prices go through the roof, right? That was so. If the reason we've got high energy prices is because of Joe Biden and NATO. That's the reason they introduced sanctions on Russia. That's impacted right across the global energy market, and that's why literally Bulgaria, I think. Hi, Brummy Pilgrim. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. And we've got Clot Shot Not as well. We got the best people on these streams, the bestest people. Yeah, 95% of Bulgaria's gas comes from Russia. So I'm just hoping the temperatures don't drop over in Bulgaria tomorrow, because it's going to be chilly. And as for Poland as well, I think Poland's about 60%, is it, supplied from Russia? But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Here's that famous EU solidarity. This made me chuckle. So you remember Donald Tusk, who played such a significant part in the Brexit negotiations. Tusk, remember him? Anyway, he tweeted out this, made me laugh. I've heard that not only Hungary, but also Austria and Germany are ready to pay for the Russian gas in rubles. Are they still in the Eurozone or in the ruble zone? Well, oh my, Donald Tusk, aren't you the one dripping with sarcasm? Where's your famous EU solidarity? Don't tell me that Germany's going to be paying Putin equals Hitler in rubles to get the gas that they need. You bet they are, because I'll tell you one thing for sure. There's no way that German manufacturing will allow Germany to turn off the gas. It's just not going to happen. I'm not sure what levels of manufacturing they have in Bulgaria or in Poland, but I don't think even those countries can survive without the gas. And then they say, oh, don't worry, we're going to share the gas around Europe, the EU. How are they going to do that then? How, so they're going to help out their poor, besieged Polish and Bulgarian brothers by what? Driving Donald Tusk. How's this going to happen? This ain't going to happen, I don't think. And even if it does happen, what it means is if they're going to give some of their gas supplies, and I don't know how, to Bulgaria and Poland, that'll mean there's less gas everywhere else. Honestly, this one is a mess. It's a cluster, you know what. Oh yes, Stu Frost, I see your comment. Can't say it because we're on the YouTubes and they don't allow us to talk about lots of very truthful subjects. But yeah, so it's a mess. It's a mess. European Union gas prices rose by 26% today. That 26%, folks, is on top of the huge increases that we saw back in February. So okay, we're moving into late spring, summer, and I guess their sort of thinking is, well, energy consumption goes down during those months, but the autumn will come. And that's just the way it's going to be. And temperatures will cool again. And by that point, the European Union is this mad plan that seems to say, oh, by then we're going to harness the energy of unicorns. Unicorn energy is what we're going to have. Yeah, we're going to get those unicorns and we're going to harness all the energy they produce. And that's going to make the EU a lovely, warm place. Simon says, a year wait for a new Volkswagen. And 14 weeks for a Kia. Wow, Simon, tells you all you need to know. Yeah, the Europeans are destroying themselves, but Clutch Shot says, starve them, freeze them, jab them. Yeah, pretty much it. Pretty much. Oh, by the way, isn't this a strange business about all these food processing plants burning down across the United States? I'm sure that's completely innocent. I'm sure that's just super duper normal, even though the numbers of fires that we've had in 4 months exceeds, in fact, double, I think, what we've had over the last several years. But just normal that food factories burn down, just like that. Hello, Bill Gates, by the way. How's the land acquisition going? Quite well, I hear. That's good. So, yes, pure blood friends. Goodness, we're all pure blood on this stream. We're all pure blood. So thank you for being here. I need a drink. Hang on. Anyway, so it's the Brummy Pilgrim comes out with a cracker. He says, if we all think positive thoughts, it might create energy. Hey, it's worth a try, Brummy Pilgrim. It's better than any plan I've seen from the from the politicians. Joe Bandy says Biden has already mentioned knitted fog jumpers for the elderly. Oh, for God's sake. Honestly, sometimes I think, I don't have to make up material. It just comes to us. Yes, Ibersteller, I agree with you, by the way. What they are doing at the moment, it seems to me, is to be disrupting the food supply chain, the food distribution chain, and the cost of such. And on that basis, they're doing that for a reason. And you guys on these streams watching me, you are more enlightened than the normies. The normies don't see this. The normies don't. That's why the only reason I'd actually ever venture back on Twitter is there's normies that you can influence. There's not, if you're on any of these streams, even on YouTube, and if you're following me anyway, it goes without saying that you guys understand that exactly what's happening. You see them. I see them. Normies don't see them. Normies are worrying about all kinds of things. Hello to my friend Greg Late. He says he hates being late. You're very welcome at whatever time. In fact, actually, your timing's good, Greg Late, because we're going to move on. We're going to keep rocking and rolling here. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. Now, I want to play a little excerpt from an interview which he gave to a guy called Piers Morgan. I can't stand Piers Morgan. I don't like him. He blocked me on Twitter, so I really don't like him. But it has to be said, this was nonetheless an interesting exchange. And from this, I don't think Donald Trump particularly likes him either. But I think it's very telling as to the mindset of Donald Trump, and that's what we're interested in. So can we play this short little, I think it's a 2-minute clip. Let's listen together to this.
Those who don't like you, there's people out there that don't like you. I know you said recently that you were very popular, and I think you said you were the most honest man in the world last week.
I'm a very honest man.
Was that true?
Yeah, I think I'm a very honest man. That's
but to those who don't like you,
much more honest than you, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Be honest?
Because I don't think you're real.
Really?
But yeah, I think I'm a much more honest person in most ways, in most respects.
Why am I not real?
But we're not going to get into that. Let's finish up the interview. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
My question was this. What message do you have to people who can't think of anything worse than you running again and will be distressed about it? Would you come back with all the experience you've had of being president? Would you come back a different person? Would you do things a bit differently? So
I like this question in a certain way because I came in and I was attacked from day one unfairly. Russia was a hoax. The impeachment hoax, number one. Number two, it was all a big hoax. The Mueller report. And I had to fight back, and I had to fight back strongly. And if I didn't fight back strongly, I wouldn't have survived. And I say it, and I say it loud. I had two jobs to do. Run the country really well, and the second was to survive. No other president went through this fake stuff.
I only ask you, when we did Celebrity Apprentice together, which I really enjoyed, and it was good. Yeah. When I did that with you, I saw a very different Donald Trump in the boardrooms for those hours every night. You weren't as aggressive and confrontational.
Except I wasn't under siege with phony Russia hunts.
And by the way, I agree with you, but the Russia collusion thing was ridiculous.
No, and many others.
Right. But my point is, if you got a chance again, would we see more of that Donald Trump, do you think?
Depends on how you're greeted. But if you're greeted unfairly, you have to be tough and you have to fight. I would like that. I would much prefer that. But it depends on how you're greeted. But I would do... And I say this, our country's in trouble. Something has to happen. And if it doesn't happen, and if we don't have smart leadership, you're going to end up with no world. The world is going to be blown to pieces. We have stupid people now running our country. The world is going to be blown to pieces.
Well, I agree with everything he just said. That's why we love Donald Trump. That's why he, I believe, will stand in 2024, and that's why he will win in 2024 as long as they don't get up to the same shenanigans that they used in 2020. But first of all, I love the way he called Piers Morgan out. He said that he was a much more genuine person than Piers Morgan, and because he didn't believe Piers Morgan was right. Old Baz calls him the 47th president. of the United States. I think for me, the main point about that interview was Trump clearly believes he's going to stand in 2020. When he, there's been a lot of speculation. I've seen speculation. I saw Ann Coulter saying, for example, the media are talking Trump up, but the real leader is Ron DeSantis in Florida. Ron DeSantis in Florida is great. I've got nothing against Ron DeSantis in Florida, but he's not Donald Trump. What I would love to see, and it'd be really interesting for American friends to feedback and British friends as well. For me, the dream team in 24 is Donald Trump as a presidential candidate and Ron DeSantis as his number 2, with the intention of in 4 years later in 2028, Ron DeSantis standing for the presidency. That's what I would like to see. I think that would be a perfect combination, and that would be something that I think we could all get behind. So having Donald Trump strong, you heard him saying that, when you're under attack, when your country's under attack, you got to man up, you got to stand up. Like Biden can't, obviously he can't do any of that. He can't do any with that. So he will do that. Donald Trump will stand up for America. Look, I'm not blind to his faults, but we've all got faults, including my tendency to choke when I'm talking. But anyway, I don't agree with what he did, Tony, with regarding Operation Warp Speed. I've got major problems with that, Tony. I disagree. I don't like it when he talks up the jabs. I don't like any of that. I really don't. But what I'm prepared to do is sort of say, well, okay, in my overall basket, is there a better proposition than Donald Trump? And I don't think there is. I really don't think. Certainly not Mike Pence, Brommy Pilgrim. Mike Pence deserves to be behind bars. And I agree that we need to ditch all the rhinos. I agree with that as well. My perfect sort of Congress in terms of if it was a Republican Congress would be, I'd have like hundreds of Marjorie Taylor Greens and Laura Boeberts. That's who I would have in it. I would have that, just so you all know where I'm coming from. Those are the people that appeal to me. I like the strong MAGA people. I don't want the rhinos. In fact, the rhinos are a bigger danger to America than the Democrats, because the Democrats don't even really pretend to be pro-American. The rhinos do. We need to ditch Mitch McConnell. Ditch the Mitch. That would be a good starter. Lindsey Graham, bye-bye, loser. We need to get rid of all those people. They need to, I'm sure, well, I hope you guys agree with me on this one. I think that those people all need to be absolutely cleared out. They were the people that worked to bring down Donald Trump during the 4 years when he was president. So we sure as hell don't need them back. City Troll's right. We need term limits as well to get rid of these serial, calling them politicians is even the wrong word, serial opportunists like Mitch McConnell. And I'm with Republican Rocker, my friend, who says Trump is not a globalist. He's not a globalist. If anything, he's a nativist. He is a patriot. His main interest is America, quite honestly. But here's the thing. He's a strong leader. At a time when we've got strong men like Vladimir Putin in the White House and Xi Jinping, in Beijing, America needs to have a strong man leader, not a demented clown in the form of Joe Biden. So it is, it's crucial that we get Trump in. I'd like to see DeSantis in as a number 2. I think that would be terrific. I think then that US should focus on, for example, one of the first things Donald Trump should do is open up the Keystone Pipeline, the very thing that Joe Biden closed down. Let's get American energy to independence back. Let's shut that border once and for all, the southern border, not the one in Ukraine. Let's get the hell out of Ukraine and leave them to it. Ukraine ain't our business. Oh, I know this might upset the YouTube and the Facebooks, but just briefly, my view on Ukraine is that what's going on at the moment is it's a NATO-led, and not by NATO brackets US and UK. It's a UK and US provocation, and we just need to get out of there. Get America great again by getting America the hell out of Ukraine. Get it out of everywhere. Close down all the biolabs around the world. Close down the biolabs. We need to do that. There's so much on the agenda for President Trump, hopefully in 2024. But I believe that a lot of us would, be, vaccines notwithstanding. And some of his choices are a bit odd, by the way. Blitzer Blazanoa says Trump should declare war on Canada. Yeah. Well, I mean, certainly, yeah, what can I say? I don't disagree. Yeah, some of you guys, just reading your comments here. The Ukraine is another orchestrated distraction generated by the globalists. Yeah, of course it is. We all have to look at Ukraine, and a proxy war, indeed, real surreal, 100% right in that one there. That's what it is. Basically, Ukraine is now the dumping ground for all Western munitions, as NATO and the US and the UK bravely fight to the last Ukrainian life. Oh, yeah. So we see it for what it is. And Donald Trump, I'm sure, sees it for what it is as well. I don't think Putin, this would have happened if Trump was in the White House. I think it specifically happened because Biden was in the White House. I think the weakness exuded by the Biden administration, not just Joe Biden, but I mean, this guy, Blinken, what do you guys think of Blinken then? Because Zelensky said, hey, Joe Biden, come over and meet me in downtown Kyiv. Meet me in downtown Kiev, right? But of course, Biden didn't know where that was, and he would get lost. So they can't send Biden. So they send Blinken, who is, so pathetic, so weak. And I'm sure you guys would agree, every enemy of America has been emboldened since Biden got in, not least the Taliban, but everywhere. Taliban, Russians, China, everyone has been emboldened. They have been, Danny says, blink and you'll miss him. Yeah, he's a man who can light up a room simply by leaving it. He's got that kind of stellar power, he's got that star power about him, Blinken. But yes, you're right. Putin and Xi feared Trump. They did, because there's an element of the maverick about Trump, and they didn't maybe quite know how he might respond to them. That's exactly what we need back in the White House. We need to get the current incumbent out on his ear. We need the Democrats out of both the houses, and we need to have a strong MAGA, or for those who know what I'm talking about, a dark MAGA administration in place. No more prisoners being taken, literally or metaphorically. No concessions to the left on any front, and going after every piece of what for what they've put us through in the past couple of years, starting with Dr. Anthony Fauci and all the way through the administration. All of those individuals need to be rounded up and put in trial for all the stuff that they've done. Well, that's what I think anyway. But yeah, you see, dark MAGA is not just a states thing. There's some of us here in the UK, and we're very dark MAGA as well in terms of what we would like to see. And if you think some of my thoughts regarding the US are revolutionary, you want to hear what I think about the UK. But yeah, I don't think I can probably go there on Facebook and the YouTubes. I don't think I can do that. So yeah, in fact, so let's divert off a little bit more then. So I've done a bit now there. I wanted to talk to you about that. I wanted to talk also about you see, every day is clown world. Every day is clown world. And that's why we exist in these spaces here in Gettr, Rumble, YouTube, wherever we are, everywhere, actually. Everywhere we are, to counter clown world. So at a time when the UK, Russia's basically saying at the moment, hey, listen, UK, if you keep, urging Ukraine to attack us. And if you keep urging, right, if you keep urging Zelensky to even attack into Russia, and you'll give him UK armaments to do that, we might have to respond. I don't blame Russia. I don't blame Russia. Am I alone in thinking, hang on a second, if I was the president of Russia and I heard British politicians swaggering on saying, oh, yeah, we can supply weapons and Ukraine can fire them into Russia, that's super duper fine. No, it's not super duper fine. And something has to be done about it. And I don't blame Russia. But rather than talk about potentially being nuked by Russia, what is the British political establishment talking about? They're talking about Angela Rayner's legs. Now, American friends may not be up to date with this story, but don't worry about it. I'm going to give you a 60-second synopsis in this one, right? 60-second synopsis. So the punchline here is, we had a very good image, by the way, which I did a podcast in this one earlier today. Really good. I thought it was a good podcast. This is the summary version of the podcast. Whole Baz, don't you dare mention Angela Rayner crossing her very long legs. Angela Rayner is the deputy leader of the Labour Party, which is essentially the same as the Conservative Party, a complete waste of space, absolutely useless. Deputy leader to Sir Keir Starmer, who's the leader. And sometimes when he's not there at Prime Minister's question time, here she goes. Here's Angela, the lovely Angela on the right, just for clarity. Just in case you didn't, but I mean, at this point in time, can we even tell what a woman is? But let's assume it's her. So let's hold the image on screen, and I'm going to I knew this would get good comments. Vicky Pollard. So Vicky Pollard's on the right, Boris Johnson's on the left, and of course you recognize in the middle we've got Sharon Stone from the 1992 classic Basic Instinct. I remember watching it at the time. Didn't think it was that good. I've forgotten all about it. But anyway, we have she fills in when Sir Keir Starmer isn't there. So back in January, I think there was a couple of occasions Sir Keir kept getting COVID, despite the fact he was jabbed. Yeah, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's a teensy weensy detail, which I know our good friends at YouTube and Facebook wouldn't want me to talk about. So yes, Sir Keir kept getting the Rona, even though he's multiple jab, and she would fill in. So here goes the story, right? Here's the story. The story goes on Sunday of this week past. We had one of the British newspapers running a story saying that a conservative source had MP had said that Angela, whenever she was doing Prime Minister's questions on the front bench, she basically flashed her legs at Boris to distract him in a kind of a more moderate, mild version of what she didn't flash what Sharon Stone flashed. Let's be clear on that. It wasn't X-rated, right? She didn't do that. But nonetheless, this was said on Sunday. Oh, the outrage about this. And Angela was outraged about it, and Boris was outraged about it. Oh, so much outrage. And on Monday, Republican Rocker, I see your comment. I see you. On Monday, the Speaker of the House of Commons said, this is an outrage. Get the Daily Mail, Sunday Mail on Sunday in here and make them explain themselves to me. Until it was pointed out to him that it's none of his bloody business what the British press write or don't write about. He doesn't get to set the media agenda. He doesn't get to tell us what we can read or journalists what they can run stories about. So that's point one. Point two then, the editor of the Mail on Sunday said, well, no, just what I've just said, basically. Not sure if she winked or not, real surreal, but you threw me there. Number two, the Mail on Sunday also said that 3 further Conservative MPs had corroborated the story that she flashed her leg to distract Boris. And then, so Andy Bell, you should be ashamed of yourself. He's got a bit of a thing for Angela. What you need is therapy, intense therapy. But I've seen your comments. I knew this would get the best comments of all, by the way. Best comments of all. Brilliant. But this is the killer. This is what made it so good for me, right? So Angela, she then went on TV yesterday morning, and she wore a trouser suit, so no one. She didn't flash her legs. No. And of course, actually, my view is if she wants to wear whatever, like, I don't mind. I don't have a problem with that. I've been in the House of Commons a few times, and it is a very historical building, and people more or less show a degree of decorum. So you could argue she could dress a little bit better, but that's a petty detail, really, from me. She dresses as she wants, not my business, and certainly not my business to criticize it. But here's the thing. This story, right? That they were trying to say, oh, that's the sexist, misogynists on the Tory benches, those sexist misogynists, and they're trying to humiliate poor Angela. Guess who the source of the actual story was? Yeah, it was Angela Rayner. Drum roll. Yes, Angela Rayner in a podcast back in January talked about the fact, laughingly, when she did this podcast with some comedian. So 2 comedians, basically. She said, yeah. So people say, I'm a bit Sharon Stone in terms of I'm sitting there, I'm just across the chamber from him. Sometimes I've got a split skirt, all that. Whatever. She was the person. She was the source. She was the source of the story that she's outraged against. What? I mean, seriously. I tell you, it's clown world. Every day is clown world. And as I say, I don't mind how she dressed. I don't care. I have no time for her. I've got no time for anybody in Westminster. I don't think it was I'm not sure. Some people are suggesting there were squirrels involved. I'm not sure about that, but that might have been on her head because she's got these very long red tresses. But she needs more than a stylist, says old Baz. Danny says, don't encourage her to get a stylist. We already pay for everything else. But this is a clown world story. So for 3 days, the British media has run a story about Angela Rayner being a victim of misogyny and sexism for a story that she actually was the source of, by her own admission. So it's not a story. It's nothing. It's a big nothing. So I don't know. So anyway, Anyway, there we go. So we moved on. So we're moving towards the end, folks. Don't worry about this one. We've got only a couple of minutes left here to go on the stream. So I wanted to, Alexander says, why are we even debating this? Because, Alexander, I'll tell you, let me explain why. Because, a Tory minister was caught watching porn on his phone in the House of Commons, allegedly, today. I saw that as well. This is, well, at least it wasn't Diana, but yeah. What can I say? Now, Alexander, there's a serious reason why I wanted to bring that story up. It shows the low level of discourse that prevails in British politics at a time when we should be talking about how do we make sure the COVID tyrannies never come back? How do we make sure we don't become a nuclear target for Russia? How do we protect our southern borders from unlimited migration? These are the things, Alexander. These are the things that should be talked about, but the political class are talking about Angela Rayner's legs. That's my point. I hope I've made my point clear in that one. I had a serious point behind it. So moving on to the last bit. It's always good, as I keep pointing out here, to have a bit of a laugh, because life's serious enough, and there's so many things that can get us down and whatnot. And then you see something that comes along and it makes you chuckle. So I'm gonna play out. I'm going to play a video in a second, and that will then be the end of the show. So I'm going to just wish everybody who's still watching, stay on the stream for another 2 minutes or so, I think it is. Have a watch at this, have a chuckle at this, wherever you are and wherever you're watching this. If you watch it in replay, I think you'll enjoy this bit here. And I'll catch up with you folks soon. Don't forget the podcast channel tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast channel. If you want to support us a little through buying me a coffee, there is a link below so we can keep this output going. If you want to visit our sponsors platform, you can go there and do that. All those things are much appreciated. But anyway, let's play this video and I'll see you soon, folks.
Is an urgent humanitarian appeal to raise funds for those hit hardest by today's social media genocide. Following the takeover of Twitter by African-American white supremacist astronaut Elon Musk, reports of hate speech continue to come pouring in, and we need your help to protect these women from online harm. Just £1 of your money could help poor defenceless children like Owen here, 12, to fulfill his dreams of raising £44 billion to crowdfund a takeover of Twitter. Just £3 of your money could help Jamelia Jamil buy a trans flag for every non-binary child in Gettr, or £8,000 if you'd like a personalised Instagram post. White-skinned people fleeing the woke mob, forced into identifying as black, have also been reported missing from social media in recent days. If you see this man who responds to the name Talcum X or Martin Luther Cream, please approach him with kindness and inclusivity. The Be Kind family, already struggling under the weight of sackfuls of unused face masks, have found the targets of their abusive tweets unresponsive. £5 of your money could go towards James O'Brien's quest to call everyone he disagrees with on Earth a racist. And just £10 could help Sadiq Khan take more police officers off the streets to police your thoughts rather than having them on the streets and solving record and soaring knife crime. Never have liberal tears been spilled in such volumes before. Never has diversity, equity and inclusion been under such threat. If we do not act now, this tragedy could escalate dramatically. Thank you.